Is this thing on? Looks like. Hi. If you are like me and you went to the car dealership or a car service to fix your brakes or something, and then you get pissed so many times because they overcharge you or they don't do it right, or they want you to pay for stuff that you don't have to do, and then decide to do it yourself like me, this might be helpful video to you. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about mechanics, about shops, but it was frequent events when I will go to the mechanic, pay for something, and they don't fix it. I come back, they want to charge me again for the same thing. I say, you know what, that's enough. I'll rather pay money for my tools, and which I can keep for the rest of my life, and learn how to do things myself. And thankfully to YouTube, I learned a lot. And Scotty Kilmer, you gotta check out this guy and his videos. He can help you a lot. He's actually doing that thing, screwing companies from their cheating methods and helping people. So what am I doing here? I'm doing front brake job on my 2013 Toyota Venza. This thing probably applies for most Toyotas and cars. So I'm gonna show you some basic tools that I'm gonna use and some tools that you can have but you don't need it. Okay, so I have here some sockets. This is 13/16 to remove the wheels. You can use whatever size you have. You're gonna need 17 inches socket, and this one is 14, I think, 12. And C-clamp. If you don't have a tool that's actually specially designed for depressing those brake pistons. There are some other tools I added to list that I will be using most of them. You don't have to. There is this is 13mm socket with a little 13mm bolt, screwdriver, some tape, lithium grease, and brake cleaner. Also, of course, you're gonna need decent car jack to lift your car up. So let me put this back and start with action. So first thing you want to do, you want to loosen your bolts in the wheel before you check out the car, actually. Okay. I'm using my torque wrench. Oh, also, of course, you're gonna need torque wrench if you want to do it by factory specification, which I like to do as long as I have newer car and a factory equipment installed on it. So once you do this, you know how to lift the car. You can check out your user manual to find exactly where is jack mounting position in your car, and make sure that your emergency brake is on. Doesn't have to go too high up there. There we go. That's all you need. Okay. I don't even think that I need this anymore. Yeah. It's actually the best thing to do if you use jack stands to support your car. This is the safest way to do it. Those car jacks, they can fail. But since I'm working on my project on my 59 Chevy truck, and my jack stands are my brother's house supporting my truck right now, this is what I have. And I also have some data sheet here, let's call it. I wrote down some specs that are good for you. Okay. Take this guy out. This was the easy part. Now first we have some what did I say, 12, 13 millimeter, 12 bolts to remove. I'm gonna use this guy because it's easier. While I'm making videos, it's gonna save me some time. Am I doing the right thing? No, I'm not. Okay. Okay, now you remove your brake piston assembly. This is normal thing on this car. One thing you have to make sure that you don't damage your brake line. So it's a good idea actually to use some wire like from coat hangers or something to secure it in so it won't fall, but I'm not doing it this time. And make sure you don't use this. See? This car has them. I changed brakes on 2 cars so far before this, and neither of them had this. So these are called anti-squeal springs or something like that. That's what I use for. Okay, this is out. I mean, you can remove this. You don't have to. You can wait until everything is done. Now, next thing you do, 17 millimeters socket. Oh, really? There it is. Okay, one more. There it is. See? Right here. This guy is out. There's a couple of bolts. Let me, yeah, I'll show you a picture later on. So, your old disc, you see, sometimes it's hard to get off. Usually it's hard to get off. So you might use a hammer to hammer it off. I do this. Get my socket, 13 millimeter. I mean, you can find any bolt that will fit your application. And you just screw it in. See, boom, out. And this pushes out all the brake disc. Now, these brake discs, I actually changed my another side, driver's side already. They still have enough thickness in brakes too. I think I have 60 some thousand miles on my car right now. And I mean, they still have enough thickness, rotors and the pads. But what happened when I'm braking on higher speeds and we're going downhill, I get a lot of shaking. So those rotors are warped a little bit. And so it cost me only $120 to get new rotors and pads and replace it myself. It's less actually than you will pay online to, I mean not online, but in a shop for you to fix it. I think I saw it on yourmechanic.com. They claim it goes from $150 to $190 something to $100 to do only brake pads. So you figure it out. What do you like to do? Now, next thing I like to do, since this is all done already. Let me get this away. It's not really necessary to do it, but I like to clean all the brake parts a little bit. Just buy cheapest brake cleaner you have. You should be using it in a ventilated area or using a mask. I don't have it right now, but because I think it's really strong. This brand actually is, it doesn't smell that bad like they usually do. So just clean it a little bit. If there's any grease in it. And there it is. Okay. Why am I using this aluminum piece for to catch all that spray? Because it's so powerful and my floor in garage is painted, so it might actually damage it. I think it's so powerful. Now, as I said already, I got my new brakes. I get Akebono brake pads and centric rotors. From my experience, I know that centric rotors are very, very good rotors. And Akebono is supposedly, that's these days, it's like a best all the way around brake pads. I mean, they're good for noise, reducing noise, good stopping, of course. I mean, to me, most important part of my car are the brakes and the wheels and the tires. So, yeah. Oh, just to give you this, let me find. So okay, so your rotor thickness minimum on this car is supposed to be 26 millimeters or 1.02 inches, and new one should be at least, it should be 28 millimeters or 1.10 inches. As far as brake pads go, minimum is supposed to be 1 millimeter or 0.0394 inches, or the new one's supposed to be around 12 millimeters, which is just under half an inch, 0.472 inch. So when you go to the shop, somebody tell you, oh, you wear that much, you have to change it. Here are some specs. I'm gonna put those already on the video so you can have it. Okay, so one thing you're supposed to do that they suggest in Toyota manual, to remove these guys and re-grease, and I'm gonna show you. That's why I have actually the rest of the tools. You see, it's all with my. I mean, they're all well greased. So I'm not doing any grease. They look good, but if you do, that's why you need your screwdriver and tape, just to tape a little bit of screwdriver so you can remove these bushings here. And I'm not doing it right now. Okay. Now it's kind of tricky to put it back here. Come on, buddy. And when you use it for greasing, they recommend to use, it's called lithium, water-based lithium grease. It's just a regular all-around lithium grease that you use for everything. Yeah. Come on, buddy. There it is. Looks good. Okay. One thing before you, well, let's first this is a brand new, guys. So as I said already, $120 for everything on rockauto.com. Very, very good prices for very good products. They actually don't have same products every time. When I bought those Akebono brakes, now they don't have them anymore. So you have to run into good deals sometimes. This is a good thing to do, just to support your rotor while you are installing everything. And you see. Now, one thing that I do, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it in the video. Okay, right here. It's a little dark. It's a brake fluid reservoir cap. Just remove it when you depressing your brake pistons. Okay, go back. Alright. Now this is where C-clamp comes handy. What I actually do, you get your old brake pad, press it here and just, you know, you don't want to damage it or anything. Get this guy in. If you can see it in the video clearly, what am I doing? Okay. Right here. And just, you have to depress those pistons back. And this one has two, so I gotta do it evenly, I guess. I mean, there are special tools for that. It would probably be easier to do that. But you don't need it. Just get a good quality C-clamp. You can use it for a lot of other stuff. And it always works with the brake system. Do you have to depress this all the way? I think so. I mean, there's maybe a little bit of wiggle room, but not too much. So you don't have to do it twice. You can just see how you push those cylinders in. The reason for that is because you're getting in new brake pads and brake rotors, which are thicker than the ones that you removed. Okay. This stuff is in. So now it's time, this carrying bracket, whatever it's called, to put it back. This way. Duh. Let's try to, if I can bring it in somehow. I mean, sure, it's pretty much straight forward, so you can see what's going on here. Okay, the cables around. Yes. Okay. Yeah, there's not much lighting in there. Huh, we got a light actually. Good. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be too shaky. It's not going to help anything. It's too close. Let's just go back to whatever we were doing before. Right. Okay. So take this guy. Oh, these shims here, they also if you buy new brake pads, they might come with them or not. Mine didn't come with, so I'm reusing it. It's actually a smart idea to put some brake grease behind them. I'm not gonna do it. Even if it gets too loud, I don't care. Okay, now find this pad. This guy goes in. That's not it. Let's do the top one first. So right here. Is that it? No, that's not it. It's kind of... Come on, buddy. And these guys here, it's not supposed to be that hard. Another side changing when actually really quick. But another one. Really? Okay, I finally got it in. Okay, now what happens here? You have to tighten those up by 74, 5, 6, 7. 77 foot-pounds of torque, or that comes to 104 Newton meters. So whichever you are using to measure. Okay. Okay, here we go. I mean, it is a brake part, so when it comes down to my brakes, I like to use factory specifications. It's just safety, you know, is in question. There it is. All in. Now, new brake pads, your turn. Now, if you can see in the video here, they have those anti-squeal shims. According to Toyota manual that I read once, it's supposed to be greased, and I have a little bit of that brake grease that came with it. Yeah, just tap it all around, squeeze it in. There it is. Another one. Is there anything left? Yeah, a little bit. Just add a little bit more of this stuff. Okay. put it back in. In case your new brake pads didn't come with this, I don't know if it's a standard thing or not, you just reuse your old ones. Toyota original. Okay, put this in, super easy. Get your assembly here and oh yeah, I forgot one thing, you see? We talked about it. Okay. Really now. Come on, can you pick it up? There it is. Those anti-squeal springs. Now when you put those in, you have to be a little careful because there are like a little holes here in the brake pads where you stick them in. I don't know if you see it in your way here. But when you put this in, you have to hold now everything in place until you're done, because everything's gonna fall down if you don't. This one goes upside down, like this. There it is. Okay. Now take this guy, put it in while holding everything together. There it is. It's all in. Now, this guy in, another guy on the bottom. Where is it? Just let me align those holes. There it is. Now these guys, you're doing 22 foot-pounds of torque or 29 Newton meters. Make sure you get good quality tools. I have those two torque wrenches from Harbor Freight, yeah, and I'm not satisfied. I don't buy the tools there anymore because I want to make sure I have quality tools and I can use them over and over for a long time. What am I doing here? Really? I'm gonna blame that on me being left-handed. As you who are not left-handed don't know, it's kind of hard for us to do a lot of things. Because actual thread-on bolts are made to be compatible for right-handed. A lot of times I find a hard way to get it in, if you know what I mean, huh? No, that's not right. Come on, buddy. That's it. Give me one more shot. Good. That was was easy, wasn't it? Put this guy back. See how hard it is. Those wheels are kind of weird. When you put them back on, you have a feeling like they didn't sit in properly, didn't go away, but it did. Just the way they are, I guess. See, they have, you can get just a little bit of tread for these nuts, but once you start, now it's go better. See? That's it. Now I'm going to use that. When you put your wheel back, make sure when you tighten your bolts or whatever you have, increase cross pattern. That way you make sure that your wheel is properly tight and secured. You're not gonna get any wobble or whatnot. It's possible. Okay, let's double check. I think it's 76. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, 76. 103 Newton meters and 176 foot-pounds. That's suggested by Toyota that you tighten your wheels to that specification. But yeah, when you're out in the field, who cares? As long as it's tight enough. I mean, one of the reasons I don't go to the mechanics anymore, it never happened to me though, it did actually to my dad, but you probably realize many times that your oil drain plug, that oh, wait a minute, Harbor Freight, don't do it. Yeah, that oil drain plug. Come on. Really? Yeah, oil drain plug thread goes bad, and a lot of times they have to replace your oil pan, and like they charge you for that. All the reason for that thing ever go bad is because they over tighten it, because they use compressors and machines to do so. So you see, that's what I'm talking about. Cheap tools. Yeah, when you change your oil, you should only use your hand, your arm power to tighten that drain plug, and power tools. And that's it. Just lower your car, boom. I mean, how easy is that? I don't know how long is that video, we'll see at the end, but super easy. Let me just key it right here. Okay, unplug it. Now I can show you this. Just get your cap, put it back. Now one thing to make sure, your brakes are not going to feel good the first time you start it. Make sure you pump it until you get that correct feel. See? Oh, there's already, it's getting better. Yeah, just pump it a little bit. I think that feels right. I also added this backup camera. It's not factory original. I just paid $100 on Amazon.com. It's a great thing. It works like a charm. It's not really plug and play, as they say. There's a little bit of work around it, but it works great. Okay, one thing. Once you put everything brand new, disc and rotors and pads, it's normal at first, just shortly, first few miles, whatever, to feel some smell until everything burns off. There might be some grease on it and whatnot. So it's still kinda spongy. It's getting there. That's perfectly normal at first. All done. Brake job done. See, you can do it yourself. I'm not a pro. I never done before anything until I started watching YouTube videos and learned myself. So